Pisces, welcome into your monthly reading. This is for the month of April and applies to anyone, a Sun, Pisces, Moon, Rising, Venus, or North Node. I did add the North Node piece because I felt that could potentially be pertinent if your North Node is Pisces. And your North Node essentially is kind of what your, I guess, purpose is in this life. So you can look at your North Node and it'll give you some direction on what you're here to, overall kind of a basic theme for this lifetime for you. And then your South Node is going to be what you've kind of already done in, alternate lifetimes. Something that you've already learned that lesson, added that concept to a life, and now you're kind of doing the opposite because North and South are going to be opposite of each other. And we had Jupiter make a cameo. All right, so April, you guys, another big month energetically, astrologically here. We got a lot of Aries energy. That's a fire sign, so a lot of passion, a lot of creativity, a lot of movement, and a lot of wanting to take action on things and really, make things happen. So it's probably a good feeling, especially being springtime. We want that energy to help us grow, to blossom, to make fruits of the seeds we plant. Because we do at the beginning of the month, we will have a period where 7 planets are in Aries, and that's rare. That's called a stellium in astrology, but I think the stelliums are more than 3 planets in a sign at one time. That's called a stellium, but 7 is a lot. We also have Uranus moving into Gemini finally, so that's also a big shift. So expect the unexpected, Pisces, especially when we have Uranus moving into Gemini. And I think that's around the 20th or on the 20th of April. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and get started. There's definitely been, as usual, you are the last reading for me. So I get the perspective of all the readings to provide to you. So there's definitely been trends. The biggest thing in April, there's a lot going on. A lot of the readings were there's multiple puzzle pieces that are coming together this month, and they're impacting, it's not like one storyline or one area of focus. Like, people's lives in general are being impacted, all areas, relationships, work, spirit, a lot of spiritual energy, a lot of people going through periods of enlightenment, getting major downloads of wisdom, of seeing things that they never saw before. Finally, really, anything that's not working, this is like it. This is, especially for those of you who are on the spiritual path, which are most of you watching, but this is kind of the month. It's like do or die. It's like, okay, what's not working? I'm done dragging this stuff along. I'm done, just like this low-hanging fruit's got to go. You know what? I'm ready to take off. So let's go ahead and see what's coming up for you guys. I will pull some Whispers of the Ocean Oracle first. All right. Diving to new depths. There is a deeper meaning to what is happening. You might be looking at this from the surface and missing what is really going on. Take a moment to pause and breathe. Allow yourself to dive deeper into what it is you are feeling about your current situation. So this is too where I think the surface image of what's happening, of what you can see, I just feel like you're not really seeing the truth behind the why of why you had to go through this, or why something is the way it is, or it's not working out, or why isn't it changing for me. Definitely feel like this is calling out a current situation in your life that you definitely have some feelings about it. I feel like it's something more that's obviously it's definitely not perfect because you're really trying to figure this out. And I think you're missing the truth to this, and maybe there's a big lesson here that you're not picking up. Maybe you've been in denial about this and trying to stay surface level, because I think a part of you, your intuition or your soul knows if you dive deep into this, you're going to see the truth, and you can't unsee the truth. And that is definitely what the month of April is. It's seeing the truth. You can't unsee it anymore. Seeing both sides. Take a step back and try looking at this from a different perspective. Same sort of message here. So you definitely are needing to kind of be objective here. Potentially too, you may need to like separate yourself from a situation as well to be able to see it differently by not being so emotionally intertwined in it. Gentle moderation. Take your time. Pressure from others or yourself can be released by renegotiate what you are trying to accomplish. I think this is a month of people taking their power back or really understanding what that means. So this thing about pressure from others, if there's other people in your life that are constantly trying to get you to do what they want only, or pushing you to do certain things that you know, isn't what you want to do, or it's breaking your boundaries. I think you have something you want. There could be some sense of trying to like here negotiate, but I think you really need to understand what you want and what you want to accomplish and what your goals are, because there's definitely something to this situation that you're not fully getting yet. And I think in April you are. Let's pull some tarot. So we have the Seven of Crystals, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Nine of Wands. So we have Seven of Wands and the Nine of Wands with the Queen of Pentacles here. So the message I'm getting here is someone's trying to take more. It's like they're trying to take more from you than, and it's creating, they're taking a lot from you, and it's creating a lot of you kind of in this over it situation. Like I don't know if you face this truth, or you've been honest about this, or had a conversation about this, but I definitely feel like Pisces, the Nine of Wands is you. You're definitely at a point where you're kind of over a situation. You may be really at this point of like, I'm done with this, or I'm maybe going to give up on this because this is too much work for me. Because someone is definitely like taking wands from you. And look at in these two cards, like she's sitting here with this wand, like she's offering this wand up, and this person's like has an armful of wands that they're just kind of running away with. So I just feel like someone's taking more from you than they're giving, and that could be the Queen of Pentacles. It could be a partner or someone in your life that is female. Or this is about you really focusing on yourself and needing to, especially with the Nine of Crystals, like this has been taxing just emotionally, mentally for you. And it's like you need to figure out what's going to create some sort of sanctuary for you in your life. Finding your sacred space that, that you feel good in, you feel grounded, you feel safe. All right, Three of Pentacles, Temperance, and the King of Pentacles. So look at that. We have the King and Queen. So I feel like you've definitely been trying to work this out with somebody. You have been trying to negotiate and compromise, and you've really been the one that's like, how do we, work together here? I think at the heart of the reading, though, this is about shifts that are happening that you can't control anymore. Like this, there's something just divinely unfolding here. Let me see here. Let's pull the last line here. So we have the Judgment. Yeah, there's definitely some awakening here to this. There's some sort of like, the universe has to step in and basically like show you the truth here. It's like a blast from the universe to say, this is the truth. This is your fate. You can't run from it anymore, or you also can't not see it. Tower, yeah, the Tower moment, and then the Nine of Cups. So this is about a sudden, this is that Uranus and Gemini energy. So this is a sudden, you know, unexpected kind of blast here. And the positive thing about this is there's a little bit of a blast through ego. There's a little bit of like egos playing against each other here. And for one, that can't continue. Okay. But there's like this, there's definitely a connection here this is referring to. Let's get some more. What's the Judgment card? I mean, the Judgment with the Tower, I mean, this is big. So this could be a major just blow up here. This could be a major, something blasts in that completely changes everything and just like lays everything out on the table. Four of Cups, it's definitely blowing you out of this. It's shifting your focus. I think your focus has been, you've been focusing on things that aren't like you know, the right things to focus on, if that makes sense. You could also be emotionally kind of just constantly focused on what you don't have, on what's not going right, kind of this negative mindset. So this could also be why the universe is stepping in, because it's like you keep focusing on what the negative and what you don't want, but you're also not willing to do anything to make a change, is kind of what I'm picking up here. So the universe is finally going to step in here. Let's see, Tower, Three of Cups, Two of Cups. So there's some sort of block in a connection here. Like the Three Cups, that's like a third party situation here. And third party doesn't mean like there's a third person involved here. The Three of Cups means there's an inability between this connection or dynamic for there's something energetically that's blocking the equitability of energy to give and to take. There's not equitable energy in this connection. Someone is giving, someone's taking, and it's not, again, so that could be on both sides, right? We are mirrors. Relationships are mirrors, but there's definitely, it could be a lot of times this is just like a protection block. There's an energetic protection around your heart space that you're not allowing. And this is very unconscious because there's always someone in the dynamic that's saying, no, I want this connection. And I'm the one who's giving and loving and trying to make this work. But the reason why you attract to this relationship is because this is mirroring a really deep part of yourself that is still actively running the show. So there is a part of you that doesn't trust relationships. You don't trust people. You don't trust love. So you kind of keep that energetic distance between people, even though it's the complete opposite. It's contradictory to everything you want. So the Tower is kind of saying you need to go, you want the Two of Cups, but you have this Three of Cups. And the Tower needs to blast through these sort of dynamics. And it has to change these dynamics. And you have to like wake up to this. Because again, I'm kind of sensing this situation. This is speaking to a situation for you Pisces that you're in a situation, you've been in it a while. You're focused a lot. Emotionally, you're not fulfilled. Emotionally, you're not happy. You're not getting what you need. But you're also not willing to end this or walk away, or to really like have the true honest discussion that's just, you can't beat around the bush. Okay, you can't just keep putting hints out there. You really need to like put a do or die thing in place here, and not saying it's an ultimatum, but kind of to where it's like, if you haven't had that discussion with a connection yet, I mean, obviously they deserve that, but I think you also know that even if you put that out there and speak your truth and say, this is what I need, like, we need to make this change, you obviously know that. I feel like you know that's not going to happen. Let's talk to the Queen of Pentacles. Six of Cups. And then the King of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune. And seven of so this, I'm sorry, I kept saying wands, but this is actually pentacles. These are actually swords. I'm sorry, I kept saying wands. So this is 7 of swords, 9 of swords. And then we have the 4 of swords. Ace of Cups. Someone is really doing a number on you emotionally here. I think there's a lot of kind of deceptive types of behaviors. And I think you're kind of completely and utterly unaware of this. And that's where these oracle cards are talking about is, I think you need to look deeper here, because on the surface level, something appears a certain way, but there's a lot more going on underneath here. And I feel like there's a lot of blocked emotions. But like the Ace of Cups is wanting all of this stuff to come out because, right, you know, for us to move forward, for us to bring harmony, we have to get out of, the truth has to come out. We need to clear any dense emotions that we've built up, things like that. And there's something definitely fated here that's going to happen. For this Queen of Pentacles, so that could be you or your connection, so kind of flip-flop what makes sense for your situation. But this Queen of Pentacles here, they are holding on. There's something that happened in the past to them emotionally that they have, there's that block again. They've really blocked themselves off. Like they don't have an ability to like really, they don't have like a loving, nurturing energy about them. And they're really stuck in this dark place emotionally. And this is tied to their past. And then this King, I mean, this is about someone needs to shift and awaken, because there's this dynamic here that's stuck, that you guys have just been playing in this dynamic that's causing a lot of suffering for one of you or both of you. And it's just like this loop, but no one's willing to change the loop. But I also feel like potentially, I mean, Pisces, I think you know that the only way to get out of this loop is to leave this. I don't know if this person is going to shift, especially in this dynamic. Like, I think they have to go through some more things to potentially, if they're going to awaken. And maybe they don't. I don't know. But like whoever the king is here, there's definitely this shift in perspective about, there's kind of this new vision here with this Page of Swords. But also I feel like this is you kind of are cautious with this person, but I think there needs to be some communication. And with the Page of Swords, again, I feel like you don't fully, honestly, openly communicate. You tend to communicate very, like, beat around the bush. That's what this energy is. And it's not clear, but something's going to come out, and it's fated, and it's going to turn into a Tower Judgment moment or situation here. But in the end, Pisces, I think the positive thing here is ultimately where you need to go is towards what you really want. And with this Nine of Cups, you see the lotus flowers here. And this is really you coming out of the darkness and the mud. I think this is a time where this situation has kind of been you being in the dark and the mud, like confused, just kind of not clear, kind of stuck. But now this is the time of you growing outside of, like, above water and really blossoming. And now you're seeing things clearly. You're seeing the truth. I'm kind of surprised. I feel like the Ace of Swords may pop up. Like, I'm feeling that energy, but we didn't get that. But let's see. Let's get one more I Ching card with some final guidance for you this month. Oops. We're going to take this one. Oppression, lake over water. These are trying times with seemingly intractable problems and little progress. Face this time of adversity with calmness and equanimity. Take the time to self-assess. Yeah, that's that assessment of going a little deeper here. Like really trying to figure out, like, yeah, trying to figure out, I think too, what's really going on internally and how you're really feeling about the situation. You could be pushing away your true feelings. But anyways, yeah, there's definitely some sort of oppression going on here, as it says. And there's some self-assessment this month, and I think you're going to work on overcoming this in April. All right, Pisces, thank you so much for joining in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Lyran Soul Tribe. Hit that bell as well so that you can get notified when I post videos. Some people say they're not getting, like, notified when all the videos are posted. So definitely hit that bell button. Let me know how 2026 has been treating you in the comments. But I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now.